Oh, shit. Alright. 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 Let me get my fucking life together here. Give me a second. Even though I don't think anybody is in here yet. Okay. Well, as you can see from the title of this live stream, I'm going to be talking about this. I'm pulling it up. I can't believe people. Yeah, well, you know what, dude? That's exactly why I'm doing this right now, because I have to tell you, that shit ate me alive last night. I wanted to come in here in the worst fucking way and be like, dude, we're doing it over. We're doing it over. I don't like to leave shit fucked up on the channel, right? I mean, especially because that was a complete and utter fucking failure on my end that I didn't fix that. I needed to fix it and I didn't fix it. That's no good. However, like I said yesterday, and this will be the last time that I fucking bring it up, but you know, it was my job as a mediator, whatever the fucking word is, to put motherfuckers in check. Right? This is my channel. This is my fucking show. Not really. My show is on every Saturday. Lapping at Birds, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check your local listings, podcast platforms. Ours follows iTunes, Anchor.fm, Spotify, all the biggies, dude. So check that out. But I had a topic yesterday. I tried to bring it up, and a friend of mine came in here, which I don't have a problem. Let me just get this out of the way before we get into what we're doing here. But I don't have a problem with people coming in here, right? I don't have a problem with sharing the stage, as it were. I don't have an issue with that. But if you see I got a motherfucking topic, don't pull me in some shit that is the opposite direction of where we're supposed to go, for one. For two, don't throw some shit at me that you know for a fact I would not cover on my fucking channel. When have you ever, and I will wait, when have you ever seen me or heard me talk about dumb white motherfuckers talking about privilege and worshiping black people and all that bullshit? I don't talk about all that because I'm not smart enough to dive into these quote unquote intellectual situations, right? What dumb white people choose to do, that's their fucking business. I got news for you. For anybody that's unaware, there is no King Whitey. You know what I mean? Just because you see a white motherfucker on the street does not mean that they represent me, and I do not represent anyone else other than the views and opinions that are expressed on this channel are mine and mine alone. I don't bring anybody down with me. I'm not asking anybody to, you know, fight on my behalf for some shit that I say. But it's just the point. I should have brought it back. I wanted to, and I saw that he really wasn't trying to go on topic for some fucked up reason. So rather than just do the adult thing, which would be, all right, I want to talk about this and you don't. So instead of just fucking leaving because I want to be an asshole right now. See, I censored myself. Should be happy, everybody. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's my friend. He's a pain in the ass, but what are you gonna do, right? So that's out of the way. Now we're gonna move on to, since we're talking about friends and sometimes the horrible shit that they do and the difficult positions that they put you in, like not staying on topic, right? Even though it wasn't, let's face it, wasn't really a great topic to begin with, but that's gonna happen from time to time. So this is what it's really about. This. Anybody who is unaware, let me fill you in on what exactly this is. Wilfred is an Australian, I say comedy loosely because I don't know what your sense of humor is like, right? I don't know what you're into, what you think is funny, what you don't think is funny. What I can tell you is that this was an Australian comedy that was adapted and rewritten for American television, which is the reason why you see it being available on Hulu, among other platforms. It is currently streaming on Hulu right now. Fun fact for you, the original show that was made in Australia in the 1850s, it fucking looks and sounds like, is currently available on Tubi right now. So you can stream the original show for free without a cable subscription or a cutting of the cord subscription, whatever you want to say. Now, I think there was 4 seasons of this show, and I'm going to just give everybody a warning right off the top. This will contain spoilers. So if you have not seen this show yet and you would like to watch it, then I suggest you get the hell out of here while you can. All right? Having said that, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to spoil. It's basically the same episode over and over again. Now, look, I'm not saying anything wrong. If you're into this show, if this is your favorite show, that's great. And I commend you for it, and I'm happy for you. But honestly, all right, look, let's just be realistic here. I started this show, and I'm watching it, and I'm saying to myself, what the fuck did I get into? Why am I doing this to myself? I passed by this show 100 times and didn't watch it because I knew what it was going to be without watching it. Now, it doesn't mean that some of it's not funny, because some of it is funny and there's clever bits in this show. So let me give you the breakdown of what this thing is basically about. It stars Fozzie fucking Moto, whatever his name is, from the Lord of the Rings or whatever movie he was in, right? And this is the American version, which was adapted from an Australian television show. I already mentioned that, but I'll say it again just in case. Now, this dude is the lead character, we'll say. There's a couple other people that surround him. I actually should have kept this up here. Elijah Wood, his real name is. Okay, then we have Jason Gann, who plays Wilfred. Fiona Goobleman, who is the neighbor, the girl next door. Allison Mack plays Amanda. I don't remember who you are unless you're the Bob's Burgers lady. Then I know you. And Dorian Brown, who plays Elijah Wood's sister. That's the basic cast. They're leaving out the guy from American Pie. I don't know what his name is, and we're gonna have to. Hold on. Let me screen share again.
I think the blonde popular chick. They're going to lose their virginity.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
Is that the dude that fucked the pie?
No, that's Jason Big. Chris Klein. That's his name. Let's see what else he was in. This is the dude I was talking about. So he was in American Pie 3 times, Just Friends, Sweet Magnolias, and a bunch of other fucking deals. Right? Now I gotta give this dude credit. American Pie has created a culture in movies. Whether you like American Pie or not, me personally, I'm alright with the food, the movie, not so much. It's not really for me, but I'm not a jockey college kind of a motherfucker, so that's not really meant to appeal to me. You know what I mean? But whether you like it or not, you can't deny that it has had some influence on movies and television as far as like characters are concerned. Like this dude here is dating the neighbor, right? Who Lord of the Rings is like madly in love with, which is the basis of the whole show. That's the foundation, essentially, right? So this dude is typical jockish type of a guy, a beer salesman, apparently. And he's extremely competitive, so he does have that way about him that a lot of like high school football players have about them. He carries around a bit of that energy. And clearly, look, I don't know who's bullshitting who here, because if this show took place in real fucking life, we all know there's no way that Fozzie would ever get the attention of this girl across the way when she's fucking with a gorilla like that. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So basically, getting off of this Chris Klein character, person, whatever, the show opens up rather interesting. Fozzie is in his fucking house. He's drafting, and I'm not making this up. He's actually the opening sequence to this show. He's drafting a suicide letter. That's how the fucking show opens, dude. So they're going in strong. They're letting you know right off the bat it's going to be one of these. So he goes through like the 4th rendition of his suicide letter, and he decides that's good enough. I'm going to pull out my blender, and I'm going to take this bottle of pills, and I'm going to put it in a protein shake, which I did think was kind of funny in and of itself. Like, not laugh out loud, kind of funny, but just ironic in the sense that like you're gonna kill yourself, but you want to make sure that you do it with a protein shake on the way out. I mean, that don't really, I don't understand. Are you trying to get one last pump on before you fucking croak, dude? I don't see what the purpose is, but I mean, whatever. Everybody's got. Well, yeah. I mean, there's that too. I mean, it goes from that, like he drinks it, right, and then he goes and lays on the bed for a while, and he's just laying there, and it's that moment where he's like, all right, I know this shit should be kicking in soon. Like, how come I'm not feeling tired? What's going on? So this fucking guy gets up out of the bed and goes into the living room, and he starts jumping rope, dude, like trying to get it to kick in faster, which is ridiculous in and of itself, right? And then that doesn't work. So what does he do? He does the go-to thing that I guess you would do in a situation like this. He's like, fuck it, I'll go in the shower and I'll rub one out real fast. So he does that. And eventually what ends up happening is, through the show, apparently while this has been going on, this has been probably a 12-hour period, because he looks out of one of the curtains and it's fucking light outside now. It was dark out when he drank it, and now it's light outside. His neighbor, this girl that he is fucking in love with, comes knocking on his door, right? Apparently these two have never spoken to each other, which I feel is kind of odd. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people in real life that would have no problem being like, oh, we've never had a conversation before, but hey, can you do me like a fucking really big inappropriate favor? Even though I know I don't know you and we don't talk and we're not close, do this for me is basically what she does. She walks over and she opens up with that, basically I was gonna ask you if you can help me with something, but clearly it looks like you need help. Is there anything I can get you? Water, medical attention, because this guy is fucking pale as shit. He's ugly looking. Like it's no good. This guy looks like he's ready to tap out any second. And she's like, "Oh well, I mean, I guess you just happen to look like Nosferatu all of the time." So I basically came over here to ask you if you could do me the favor of watching my dog for me while I go out and do whatever it is that she needed to do. So he agrees. So she brings the dog over, except it's not what you think. It's not a regular dog. I mean, it probably is, but we're gonna get to that in a second because this is part of what is a big letdown. But the dog comes over. At first, it was a dog. It was just a regular dog sitting outside, right? The guy is doing dishes or some shit, and he looks back up, and the dog is. It was outside. It has now disappeared, and he turns around, and there's a fucking dude standing in his kitchen in a dog suit, literal dog suit, and he's like, "What's going on, man? What's happening?" I don't have any of the opening lines of anything that he said. I'm trying to pull up a picture right now so you can see what it is that he looked like. Because I still have the screen share on. If you can see it right there, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the 8th picture over. Shows that's what he looks like to this guy throughout the entire show. Now, I've only watched maybe 6 minutes of the Australian version of this show, and I watched all 4 seasons of the American version just because I wanted to make sure that I had my bases covered for this. But already, the difference between the Australian show and the American show is people in the American show do ignore that the dog is a fucking guy. But it seems like in the Australian show, let me figure out a better way to explain what I'm trying to say. Basically, when he talks to this dude, nobody else can hear him, right? Other than the guy, the main character can hear him. Nobody else can hear him. To everybody else, this dog looks like a regular dog. So when the dog is talking to him, like he's actively shooting him dirty looks or telling him to shut up or whatever. But the way that he does it is almost like the way that Stewie operates in Family Guy. Like he talks to the dog, he talks to Peter and Lois and all them, but they never acknowledge that they can hear Stewie. This guy kind of does a similar thing, except when other people are around, he doesn't want to talk to the dog because I guess he doesn't want to come off like a fucking crazy person. Which, I mean, debatably, this is what, to get down to it, this is basically the whole operation of this fucking show. Is this guy a nut job or not? And I have to tell you, I was left very unsatisfied watching the season finale of this fucking show because America does what it always does, and that is take something, work in angles where you could end the show 8 different fucking ways, and then you opt out to take the one option that is the most obvious and you execute it in the worst fucking way possible. That's what they did. Basically, the entire show is this dude hanging out with a dog on his couch, smoking weed out of a fucking Gatorade bottle. And, since we're on the topic, a couple of things, not for nothing. If you're gonna have the peace, that let me see if I can fucking search this here because I want to show you if I can find it. Bong arts. No shit, and it gives me a diagram. God bless America, right? Okay, now I gotta find something to click on here. Okay, the bowl piece. Yes, you see this in the Gatorade bottle. They have a bowl piece. I don't know about you, but when I was going through my makeshift bong days, if I didn't have money for a Dutch or papers, and I had to improvise to make a bong or a bowl out of tinfoil and a plastic bottle or whatever it was that I had around, I didn't have the bowl piece just sitting around to stick into the bottle, and I find it very aggravating for some reason. If you have the foresight to put the bowl piece into the plastic bottle, why not just go out and get a fucking real bong, douchebag? That's for one. For two, if you're gonna have a show where the characters do nothing but have dialogue and smoke weed, can you at least have them clear the fucking chamber? For the love of everything that is green and holy in this world, there's no reason to relight the bowl when you have not even cleared the chamber yet. I just want to put that out there so that everybody knows. It's little details like that kill me. Little details like that kill me. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Right? So, that's basically what the dynamic of the show is. These two dudes sitting around smoking weed all day, and this dog is a fucking asshole. This dog is an asshole. It doesn't matter how they try to paint him out. He's a terrible friend 99% of the time. Been full on watching The Sopranos. Oh, I'm kind of jealous, dude. That's a good fucking show. And ironically enough, I mean, obviously, from the title, I watched all of Wilfred, and I had to say, the ending left a lot to be desired, dude. Especially, well, I mean, I gotta get to that point. So there's all types of shit going on. Like automatically, as soon as the show starts, right, this dude opens up with killing himself. So right away, if you have any kind of common sense in your mind, your immediate thought is, well, this is it. The guy is dead. That's why it's so funny because of how douchey he is. And endings are hard. Well, see, that's my beef that I have with it, dude, is they had a perfect fucking ending. They had the perfect ending and they fucked it up. Well, yeah, but to be fair, the ending of The Sopranos, though, it was made like that intentionally because the writers always had the idea that they wanted to come back and make a movie. So that's the reason why, part of the reason anyway, why I think that they ended that the way that they did. Besides that, dude, nobody would have been happy with the ending of The Sopranos. If people would have just walked in, how about the mind fucks? They were hilarious. Look, dude, I'm not saying that the show wasn't funny. There were definitely funny aspects to it. It's just that the fucking deal got a little stale, dude. What I mean is, it's basically the same episode over and over again. And I understand that's every show. You can easily look at The Sopranos and go, okay, it's basically the same character being rotated in and out with different voices, and everybody talks and does the same shit the entire time. I get it. You can do this with any show, any of them, whatever your favorite is. We can take 5 minutes, we can pick it apart and easily. Well, who is that? Dwight's yoga. I'm looking to see. I was looking to see on the Wilfred cast if that was somebody that was on here, but I don't see them. So that might be a Sopranos character that I don't remember. I like Wilfred's girl's boyfriend. Cracked me up. Oh yeah, I was just talking about him. Like that dude. When I mentioned him before, I was saying about how, like it or hate it, American Pie has influenced a lot of movies and television. For sure. I mean, I don't know if Dead Man Walking was before American Pie, but all that shit. Even the Van Wilder stuff. I mean, I guess you could argue Van Wilder probably opened a door for American Pie, which then just kept the door kind of open and everybody else kind of went through it and made shit spin-offs of that, which could arguably be part of Seth Rogen's career. I think that's what his name is. You know, the guy that did Knocked Up, Pineapple Express, that fucking guy. You know, I think a lot of what his movies are about can be attributed to that type of a style. Dwight was Bruce. Why am I drawing a fucking blank on who the hell? Oh, wait. I remember Bruce. Bro, that guy's fucked up. That guy's got mental issues, dude. Seriously. I don't know what the fuck is that guy's problem, but Bruce has issues, dude. Hardcore. Bruce has issues. But look, the show opens up, the dude tries to kill himself, right? Now, obviously, if you have common sense in your mind, you're watching this show and you're saying to yourself, right after your suicide attempt, a girl that lives next door that has never taken any time to speak to you all of a sudden happens to come and knock on your door, right? Asks you to watch her dog, who turns out is not a dog at all. It's a guy in a fucking suit that talks to you. Seems a little crazy. So you're led to believe, or at least I was, maybe this guy is not really alive. Maybe this whole thing, this guy is dead, and this is all just one big hallucination, fever dream, whatever you want to say. I don't know. But, I mean, I still kind of think that would not have been a bad angle to run with. And they did kind of touch up on it throughout the show. So, you know, as time goes on, you get introduced to other characters pretty quickly. You meet Fozzie's sister, who is a doctor of sorts. And then you find out later on in the show, fast forwarding a little bit, that his mom was crazy too. Like, she had mental problems. The dude's father wound up putting her in a hospital. Not yet. I tried to watch the first episode, but I saw there was a lot of marina action where people are sitting on boats, and I get motion sickness, so I have to try to get back into it and just try to navigate around that shit. But lately, for the last week or whatever it's been, I've been just trying to cram all this Wilfred shit so I can get through it and figure out what is it really all about. But you find out that this dude's mom is mental in some capacity. I don't think they ever gave an official diagnosis other than I think I remember paranoid schizophrenia being mentioned, that she had that. But as the show goes on, like his mom has a cat while she's in the mental hospital. And it turns out his mom does the same thing with the cat that he does with the dog. Like when she looks at the cat, she doesn't see a cat. She sees a woman in a cat suit. Like how when he's looking at the dog, he doesn't see a dog, he sees a dude in a dog suit, right? So basically, this whole show is this guy is watching this girl's dog because he wants to try to find a way to get close to her, essentially, is what is happening here. That's what he's trying to do. Now, again, though, man, I don't know. Some of this shit had to be made up. But I mean, I almost want to just skip forward and go right to the last season. Partially because it's sort of fresh in my mind. And secondly, because there is a part of this show that sticks out immediately. Yeah. But at one point or another, the guy brings the dog. He's going to search for a cult, right? And it's called like the Silver Shepherds of whatever the fuck. It's some kind of cult group where everybody worships a dog looking like statue that looks like Wilfred. Oh, and I forgot the dude from My Name is Earl is briefly in the show as well. He plays one of the neighbors. Oh, yeah, and the solid dude is in this show too. Late, like in one of the last episodes of the show, he makes a small appearance in it, which was pretty cool. And I think Robin Williams, or is that a different show?
What?
Was it Robin Williams in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it too. He popped in it too,
He's the psychologist.
which was a nice surprise. I didn't expect to see him. And now, I mean, especially because he's gone. When I see him pop up in anything randomly, I'm like, oh shit, like that's crazy. I didn't know that.
You didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, he looked different. I mean,
I did. I was so proud of myself.
that last movie he did was a little rough, but I mean, that's a whole separate conversation for another day, dude. But basically, this dude is going to look for the cult, trying to figure out what does all this shit mean. Were his parents wrapped up in this? Is that why his father had his mom committed, even though she is fucking crazy? What?
Remember the blackmail, not ransom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a blackmail situation. The whole thing. They definitely do plant the seeds to make you think certain things are gonna happen, and they kind of don't. But there's a part where while he's looking for this cult and he's trying to figure this shit out, he winds up going into a hospital to track down a lead, and the guy is like, "Look, I'll give you whatever information you want." Yeah, right. He didn't say, but you gotta suck my dick. That would be funny if he did, though. Yeah, but he goes, if you want the information, I need you to do something for me. I need to run some tests on your dog. Now, keep in mind, this is not this man's dog. This is his neighbor's dog, but he is with this fucking dog. Which, by the way, this lady is the worst. One of arguably the worst animal owners ever, dude. She spends barely any time with this fucking animal. I mean, did I like the show overall? Overall, I liked it. I definitely would have tapped out after a certain point, but it did intrigue me to where I had to stick through it and watch the end. What I liked about it, there was one part about the show that I really enjoyed, which was it seemed like, and I have no evidence to back this up at all whatsoever, but it seems like in the beginning episodes, what they would do is they would show you the title screen at the end, but then the show would come back on, like when the credits are supposed to be rolling, and there would be a couple of lines back and forth between the actors, and it would repeat. So I think what they were doing was they were actually showing some of the scenes that they deleted, or maybe lines that they think that didn't work, or bloopers where the actors are making each other laugh, and they showed that stuff at the end, which I thought was pretty cool. Or there's certain cuts in the show where you can clearly see that these guys were not able to hold it together while they were trying to run through the script, and you can see at points like there's a couple of extra seconds where the camera should have cut, but they leave it in so you could see that these guys were having a good time recording this shit, which I did enjoy that. I like the overall idea of it. I think it was a ballsy thing to do. I appreciate that the show was made. It's definitely not my usual.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, Jen was really into it. It's definitely not my.
Almost lost out on money because of it.
It's definitely not my brand of comedy, but there was shit. There was shit that was funny. A lot of, and the fact that everything this dude does, everything this dog does. Not for nothing, man, but I'm trying to fucking create here. God damn it. I gotta take this. Hold on. Dude, I'm gonna rock this for Halloween, dude.
Yo, you totally should. This is fucking so sweet. People are gonna be like, where did you get that?
A homemade, bitch. You don't
That's
know?
so fucking dope, yo. You should wrap my hair up in some of these, yo.
For real, you could do
Yo,
it.
Yeah,
you
I have.
do you have crochet hooks? You don't know how to do dreads?
I know how to do them somewhat. I know you gotta tease them backwards. Yeah,
No, like mine are already locked.
yeah, I know.
You just gotta
Supposedly-
get the hair,
and just weave
wrap it up, and like pull it through with like the smallest fucking hook that you have. That shit's so dope.
I love it.
The hook is like so little, it's
I
retarded.
know I have it. It's like socks or fucking.
Mumble rapper, right?
Hell yeah. If you want, pull that chair up. I'll scoot this one over. We can intro it. We can cut an intro for it later. All right. So what do you want to start with? We literally could talk about anything. Doesn't matter.
Well, I haven't talked to anyone about this yet today, and it happened this morning.
Okay.
And it kind of just let it go because, well, I'll just tell a story.
Yeah.
So I go on a quick check, right?
This is already a good start.
I go on a quick check on my work break, and I go and get a hot coffee
Yeah.
in a 20-ounce cup
Yeah.
with a little bit of cream, no sugar.
Right.
And I pour it into a 40-ounce cup that I got from where the soda machine is.
Yeah.
So it's a fountain soda.
Right.
If you ring it up, it's like $1.65 or something. It's less than $2.
Right.
So with that being said, I put it together with ice, and I go up to the counter, and she looks at it, sees that it's iced coffee, but I made it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not their iced coffee.
So she charges you.
She charges me for iced coffee, which is like
what they make for
which
like
is
$5.
it's like $3 something.
Yeah.
It's like $3.80.
Yeah.
And I said to her, does it not matter that
I made this shit myself?
I made it myself with ice and hot coffee?
Yeah.
And she said no, because it's not the product that they're charging you for, it's the cup. So if you go and you grab a cup by where their iced coffee is,
They're charging
and you ring it up, it comes to $3.80, whatever. However much their shit is. I know it's over $3. It's over $3.50 for sure.
Yeah.
That's what it'll come up as. But if you grab one from by a soda,
Never gets easier. I'll tell you that. It never gets fucking easier. She just wants to talk, dude. I can't. Like, I don't have the patience to listen to you go in circles about the same shit. You know, I don't, especially like I'm in the middle of trying to do something here. Like, I know I'm not breaking records, but what if I had a fucking million people in here or some shit? I can't just be like, oh, I gotta take this fucking phone call now. Let me just do that real fast. Never finished the series. Well, I mean, that should tell you everything right there. I didn't want to finish it either, but I had to know how it was going to end, and the ending was the fucking worst. Yeah, Jem wanted to know what the dog looked like the entire fucking show, because they never show it. They never really show it outside of maybe one frame in the very beginning, and then you find out that's not even the same fucking dog. Yeah, but you know, the guy winds up going into the hospital with the dog. They say they want to run some tests on him, and this is some MK Ultra type of shit. Like, first of all, ground rules, people. You don't ever take a drink. I don't care where you're at. If you're in an interrogation room, if you're over somebody's house you don't know, you don't fucking take a drink from them. You don't eat nothing that they try to give you. You don't do any of that. I don't care if they're drinking the same thing. Don't do it because you don't know. They could spike your shit. And I mean, come on, man. There's enough shit on television and in movies. You should know better. But this guy not thinking, he's drinking the water. They're pretending to shock the dog. Turns out this whole thing is some type of a lab testing, right? Where they have him basically tripping on acid or some shit. And it turns out this would have been a good way to end the show right here. Which was he's out of his mind. It turns out that everybody he knows is pretty much in on this whole scam the whole way. It's almost like the Truman Show. Like they have cameras all over his apartment. They've been watching him this entire time. And he finds out that the dog is a dude, is just a guy, and that there was no dog really. And he's been going through this whole thing this entire time, just getting his balls broken by this guy just because the guy can do it. And because this dude is out of his fucking mind, I guess the people around him feel bad for him, so they don't say anything. I don't know what the dynamic was, but basically he figures out this whole thing was just a way for him to be driven crazy. And instead of just taking that angle of the show and ending it there, which is what they should have done, it would have made so much more sense if they would have been like, all right, turns out this dude is crazy, right? It turns out this dude is crazy, and he has this fantasy. I could rewrite the whole ending of the show right now, dude. This guy is out of his mind. Everybody knows that mental illness runs in this man's family. The father is not really in the picture. Him and the kid are estranged from each other for whatever fucking reason. So he's having delusions of seeing the dog and shit like that. People are being concerned, so they bring him into this hospital under false pretenses, almost like an intervention to trick him to go there, right? I mean, obviously you can work out the kinks better in a writer's room or whatever, and obviously when people do shows, it's usually not one guy coming up with the idea off the top of his head with absolutely no pre-planning at all. But so they get him in there, right? They do all the tests. Yeah, dude, it's exactly what it was. Well, dude, what wound up happening was they didn't even end it like that. What wound up happening was the guy gets out of the hospital, and it turns out, I'm cutting out a lot of the extra details to all of this, but basically at the end of the show, he figures out from the dog telling him that he's not real. How are you doing that? We stand with all against racism and inequality. We'll donate $100,000 to support of the black community and against racism and inequality. The fucking CBD company. I don't even know how does that work. Fucking magnets, right? I don't know. How do we know that charity is for real, dude? But so the dog basically tells him, like, yeah, man, I'm a figment of your imagination. This whole thing has not been real. You're a nutter, and that's just what it is. So the show fucking ends with these two jerk-offs sitting on a couch on the beach, and he's talking to the dog, and he's basically like, well, I mean, I guess this is just gonna be my life now. There's no resolve at all whatsoever. It's like, okay, cool. So the entire time we knew that there was a chance that this dude was crazy. So that's how you're ending the show? The guy is crazy? That's how you're gonna do it. You could have easily went the mind control route, right? Due to a mental breakdown. And I understand it's in the same vein, but it could have been done better. I feel like the ending of this show was very anticlimactic. It really was. Because, I mean, it just ends and there's soft music in it and it's over. That's the fucking show. It don't really make sense. I mean, they don't even explain how do other people around him. What I would have been interested to see, what are other people seeing when this guy is talking to this dog? Right? Like, what are other people? What is his sister looking at? What is the neighbor looking at? Her boyfriend? What do they see when this guy is talking to the dog? Because when they walk in on him yelling at the dog for whatever reason, they're like, dude, are you okay? Who are you talking to? Yeah, at the very end, but even that, it's like,
That's only a little bit. That doesn't give you enough.
yeah. So like, I don't know, man. And look, I'm sure it's not easy to take a show that was done overseas and rewrite it to adapt it into American television, which they did a good job as far as that goes. I mean, they nailed references, everything that this dog character would do. His personality traits were based off of what actual dogs do. I'm digging holes in the backyard because I'm anxious. I want to pee on everything because I'm marking my territory. I hate the mailman, which that would have been another thing they could have built some type of Illuminati plot line. Like if they wanted to get crazy, because the dog believes that mailmen are like a part of a secret society. What? Yeah. You know, was the show canceled? It's a good question. Let's take a look, because that is one of the, I mean, I would imagine, I'm pretty sure they ended season 3 on a cliffhanger. Motherfucker, I did it again. I shared the wrong screen. Ugh. So I think they got greenlit for a 4th season, and maybe it was the network's fault. I did it twice in a row. Did you see that? 2 times in a row, the same tab. I shared the wrong one twice. Are we gonna go for 3? Or are we doing it right this time? Thank you. Holy shit. Was Wilfred canceled? Wilfred will sit, but he won't stay. FX Network on Wednesday renewed the surreal canine comedy for a 4th season, which will also be its last. Though Wilfred now airs on FX, it will move to its sister network, FXX, for the final 10-episode run. So, I think that answers our question, right? I think they canceled it. There was some type of a demand for it, so they brought it back. The basement is not real. The basement is not real. I don't care what you say. The basement is not real. It is a fucking closet. That's what it is. The basement does not exist. The basement does not exist. Is the basement in Wilfred real? The basement is real. Just Ryan never really used it up until meeting Wilfred. The basement is a metaphor for heaven. This furthers the theory that Ryan is dead and Wilfred is his guide to the afterlife. Since Ryan is happy in the basement, it supports that it's his paradise. No, fuck you, dude. No, you don't. No. I don't accept that. Go fuck yourself. Then how do you explain him going to open the basement door and it being a fucking closet? Huh? How you explain that? So you're going to tell me you worked all this gimmick shit in just to say that Wilfred's his fucking spirit guide to the other side of the world, which he didn't even bring him to? I mean, the motherfucker did DMT and Wilfred shot his fucking spirit guide in the throat with a goddamn bow and arrow, man. Who the fuck does that? An asshole. That's who does that. Fucking son of a bitch. Why does Ryan see Wilfred as human? Because he's a crazy person. Ryan looks at Wilfred and sees a man in a suit because that's how his mind interprets it. The only reason he can talk to Wilfred is because his mind has been so shaken. It's also a trait that was passed down by his mother, who could talk to her cat. See, I told you. What is the truth about Wilfred? It turns out, after an elaborate move of misdirection where Ryan is convinced that Wilfred is a god worshipped by a cult Ryan's father used to belong to, that Wilfred was not even real, not totally shocking, and instead was a figment of Ryan's imagination superimposed over a plain, ordinary dog. See, now this is bullshit, dude. That's bullshit. I mean, I get it, but come on now. I mean, I don't know what the fuck this means, dude. I really don't. I think it could have ended better. I like the idea of the show. Some of it is really fucking disgusting. But you're going to have that. I knew that there was a possibility, a strong possibility, that we were going to have to deal with some nasty shit. Because that's the style of comedy that this is. It doesn't necessarily... This brand of comedy, and dare I talk about comedy and not being a fucking comedian, but this brand of comedy, it doesn't make you think to have to catch the jokes, but at the same time, it doesn't always go for the easiest punchline, but they're not ashamed. They're not ashamed to throw a couple of low-brow punchlines at you. You know what I mean? So they don't have an issue with going either way, but they do tend to go for the cheap laugh sometimes, I feel like. I was going to bring up something else. It's something to do with being crazy. There was another show that I was going to fucking bring up. I don't remember. Although I'll tell you this. FX should not be allowed to call themselves fearless until they put Louis' fucking show back on their goddamn network on demand. Then you can call yourselves fearless. Fearless is not taking down somebody's show because he did some fucked up shit. And now you don't even like, I love that fucking show, dude. Now I can't even watch it because that guy chose to jerk off in front of a few people. Now I can't enjoy a show that was completely separate from that. There are people that still love the Cosby Show, and that motherfucker was raping people like crazy. I'm not justifying the action. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't in the room. The point is, what that guy does in his personal life shouldn't affect whether or not I enjoy the shit that he makes. Don't get me wrong. If the guy was fucking kids or something, I would be like, dude, that's terrible. And if he was, oh, look, I don't want to get into the fucking argument of whether the guy did some shit that was okay or not okay. I don't know what the dynamic was. It's just the point that whether you like the guy or not, he's a fucking brilliant dude. And to take that show down and not put it back up is a disservice to everybody that enjoys it. Not to mention, this show had balls, dude, to do shit other shows wouldn't do. You know, it gave you almost like, this is the brain of a guy who is now famous, but he's a regular piece of shit like the rest of us. He's a regular piece of shit like the rest of us, dude. You know, but that's what was interesting about it. That's not what I was going to bring up. I can't remember. I mean, dude, We can even go into Rescue Me. Similar situation. The only difference between Wilfred and Rescue Me is Dennis Leary in Rescue Me talked to dead motherfuckers that were not there. And the show beat you over the head with the fact that these people were dead, as if the audience was not smart enough to be able to figure that the fuck out. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of parts of Rescue Me that were disgusting too, but ironically enough, if you take Dennis Leary's 2 specials, Locked and Loaded, No Cure for Cancer, and you took the entire stand-up specials and you said, Dennis, I have an idea, bro. Check this out, right? We're going to take, and again, I have no evidence to back this up. This is my personal opinion. We're going to take your 2 comedy specials and we're going to turn them into a television sitcom about firefighters in Boston. And what I want you to do is I want you to take every premise you've ever touched on in your stand-up comedy, and I want you to use those premises in this show. That is essentially what Rescue Me is. Now, don't get me wrong. There's another show that just kind of dropped the ball, man. It kind of dropped the ball, man. I mean, fuck, I still, even though it was kind of, I'm not going to lie to you people. There were parts of this show where I was like, Jesus, is this really what we're doing? But then again, I mean, look, I don't know how smart I actually am. You know what I mean? If you had me sit down and take an IQ test, I can't promise you I would score very high. And don't ask me how. I can watch a show that I've never seen before, and I can predict exactly what the fuck sometimes the next line is going to be out of the actor's mouth, or what direction the plot is going to go in, to the point where I'm 3 episodes into the fucking show and I predict the ending that's like 8 seasons out, and I'll stick to the show and I'll watch it just to be like, there it fucking is. There it is. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's common sense. Maybe everybody can do it. Or maybe I just get lucky. I don't know. But this show, why would it come back? Who the fuck asked a dumb question like that? Why would it come back, dude? Are you fucking... People are stupid. People are fucking dumb. I'm one of them. I'm not saying I'm smarter than you. Rescue Me, the dark comic firefighter drama that is broadcast Tuesdays on FX, return this week for the beginning of the end. Show will wrap up next year, shortly before the 10th anniversary of 9/11, an event that inspired the series that has been repeated or revisited repeatedly. Oh, you mean every fucking episode? Yeah, exactly. Oh, you mean like you can't go a fucking single episode of the show without saying 9/11 at least one time? You mean that if everybody decided to play a drinking game and they said every time somebody in Rescue Me mentions 9/11, you have to take a shot, those people would be in the coroner's office from alcohol poisoning? You mean like that? Yeah. I still liked it though. I liked it because that show had balls, dude. I just used it, a part of that show, for an intro to the most recent podcast episode where they get pulled into a seminar where some guy has to come out from HR and be like, listen, man, you can't say certain words. You can't say certain words and, act prejudice and all this shit and think it's okay. And they they fucked this poor guy's day all up, dude. They threw out every racial slur you can think of. I mean, everybody. They did Italians, they did Jews, they did blacks, they did Spanish, all that shit. They covered their bases where they basically threw out. I mean, they even went as far back as to use the term spaghetti bender. I could tell you 100% with certainty before I watched that show, I had never heard the term spaghetti bender. I've heard mackerel eater, I've heard shit like that. I've never heard spaghetti bender as a racial term for an Italian. Never. Very, what's the word I'm looking for, man? Very creative. I mean, that's not one I think that one might have been pulled out in the heat of an argument and somebody just kind of ran with it. Like, oh, for sure, I'm definitely going to pocket that and use it later. But, I mean, dude, I don't know. It's not, Wilfred, all in all, is not necessarily a bad show. It was certainly slightly better than, the fuck is it? Shut Eye? Who are you? Oh, okay. Good, now cash it and shut the fuck up. Yeah. Well, she's like, I gave him the check, by the way. Like, okay.
I thought you were supposed to hold on to it until he's ready to cash it. Just be a smart ass.
Yeah. Fuck. Dude, I don't know, man. Oh, which, you know what? We gotta switch gears real quick. I know this is not show related to what we're talking about, but I'm gonna bring this up because this is a really funny thing. I think this is one of the best things to ever, honestly. You all know, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. If you're not aware, hold on. Here it is. This. I brought it up before. I'll bring it up again. Broad Street Breakdown. Vinny Paz presents the Broad Street Breakdown. It's a podcast of his and two of his friends, OG Gavin, Pablo Regular, right? Now, something happened today that does not normally happen, I would imagine, right? For some reason, OG Gavin, who happens to be, for what this matters, I don't know, but he's a tattoo artist in Philadelphia. Like, they all know each other apparently since they were since Vinny was a kid. They were all older, but they all hung out, and I guess just kind of it came up together, for lack of a better way to put it. But Gavin is this dude doesn't fuck around. You could just tell by his face. Like, this is a dude. I'll pull him up. Like, this is not a guy. If you saw this guy in the fucking street, you'd be like, oh man, this is gonna be a problem. For like this dude, I'll show. He doesn't really look menacing in this photo, but I'm telling you, bro. You hear this fucking dude talk right here, this guy right here. You hear this motherfucker talk, and you'll know right away that is not a man that fucking plays games, right? So they get into the podcast today, and he pulls out he pulls out a fucking ICP reference, which, I mean, if you've been around long enough, you know I got that fucking stupid tattoo on my fucking arm, which I gotta work on getting that motherfucker covered because I'm not a gang member, but another story for another day. Right, but he's saying whoop whoop, which is apparently like a big thing. For some reason, some people like to attach to that. I don't really like to do what other people do, so I never really did that. But I mean, whatever. Everybody has their own thing. And Paz is basically telling him, like, dude, you don't want to get these fucking people riled up, man, because it's gonna be a fucking problem for you. He's like, I'm telling you, dude, you don't want to do this. He's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and I don't give a shit. Basically, right? So they get to talking about this, and this guy is like, dude, I don't know any of their music, right? I know they've been around for like 30 years. I've never listened to a single fucking thing that they've done. He's like, but basically, I respect them for having done it. Right? And Paz breaks down, surprisingly, he breaks down the whole history of their shit. Like, for him not being at all like a fan of these guys, I guess, to other people. No, what the fuck is that? I'll look that up. Oh, it comes right up. Okay, I know. Again, American Pie. The fucking dad. I've never heard of this. Aired on Fox in 2002. No wonder why. Bro, in 2002, I was a fucking crazy person. You know what I mean? I was still in high school, man. I was trying to figure my fucking life out. Well, yeah, of course, that too. It was between trying to get pussy and figure out ways why I shouldn't fucking kill myself, dude. That's basically what it was. Like, is it worth it? Is all this worth it? I don't really know. Get fucked with every day, constant pain. Like, do I really want to do this? And then you get out of high school and you realize those people, fuck them. They don't know. They don't know any more than you do, which is why they're acting that way. They're fucking afraid to be irrelevant. That's all. It's not all their fault. Some of them were raised by scumbag people that were not taught how to have empathy for other people or to respect difference, you know? It's fucked up. But yeah, no, I never heard of this. I'll take a look around and see what I can find out. Like, maybe I can find a trailer or something. I mean, I'm not gonna pull it up here because I don't know why somebody flagged not the last stream that I did, the one before that. Somebody flagged it, so it got copyright blocked, which sucks. But I mean, you know, that shit's gonna happen. Nothing you could do. So I don't want to pull it up here just to get this one blocked as well. Not like I'm really doing anything that is noteworthy, but still. So just to finish out what I was just saying, basically, they talk about the band and all that shit, and Pez breaks down the entire history about how they were signed to labels, and the labels didn't really didn't really know what to do with them. And eventually they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go and do shit on our own. And he's breaking down the whole history of this shit. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, OG was like, man, I don't have any interest in listening to their music, but I like what they're doing. Like I guess he likes that. They say that it's very punk rock. What I guess ICP fans, juggalos, whatever fucking word you want to use. I think it is hilarious that there is, but then again, I like it. I like it when people talk shit. One of my favorite moments in the Cleveland show was when Rollo made a reference to going to the gathering of the Juggalos, and they were throwing him around, crowd surfing. He was just screaming out, "Put me down, you human garbage!" Like that shit is hilarious to me because I know what the fuck I am, dude. Well, yeah, Rick and Morty too, where that robot is flying all around the fucking bedroom. And he's like, Rick says to Jerry, you know, 2003 call, or what the fuck did he? Hold on. I gotta pull that up. Let him copyright block me. I don't give a fuck. This shit right here. One of my favorite.
Fine. I'm going to take this thing to my workshop and do a little bit of investigating. Do not let that thing out of your sight. It looks harmless now, but it could grow into something dangerous.
Like the insane clown posse.
Yeah, good one, Jerry. 2003 just called. It wants its easy target back.
I love that shit, dude. I love it. I love it. You know why? Because we all know what it is, dude. We all know what it is. You know, so it's funny when I like it that, you know, these guys at the balls to talk their shit. And I will rip these motherfuckers apart faster than anybody. And I got their shit on my fucking arm, so I don't want to hear no lip from any of you motherfuckers. If anybody has a right to talk some shit, bro, I got the fucking deal on my body. So I'm gonna fucking talk shit, dude. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. One thing you will do is fucking respect it. Do you know why? Because you didn't sit in some fucking beat up biker tattoo parlor in South River, New Jersey and get this shit inked on you by some fucking gorilla. I did. So go fuck yourself if you don't like what I have to say. Now look, dude, from a business perspective, just what Paz said today alone, right, when he was breaking down the history of shit, he basically said, like, I did the fucking gathering, which I've never been, by the way. I'm never going to go. There's no reason at all why I'm going to pay you money to go have to drive 4 days, whatever it is, out in the middle of fucking nowhere so I can either pitch a tent or rent an overpriced hotel fucking room for a week of concert material, whatever the fuck it is they do now. Don't get me wrong. They have some really cool fucking guests, man. A couple of years ago, they did have Jedi Mind Tricks, Immortal Technique on the fucking ticket. I would have went just for those concerts and went the fuck home. But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Fuck that shit, man. I don't have the desire for it, dude. I don't care who fucking is playing. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it. Fuck out of here. But he basically said, like, you know, these dudes throw this festival, and he's like, I don't know how much of this shit they actually want out there. But he's like, these guys throw this festival thing every year, whatever it is, And he's like, they don't really make any money off of it, but they do the show for their fans. Dude, that would be a fucking nightmare. I can't even. He wouldn't get 5 minutes into a song of theirs before tapping out, dude. There's no way. There's no way. Although I could think of, if I could recommend any song of theirs for somebody that's never listened to their music, you have no idea what it's all about, you don't even have to like it. There's 2 songs that I will recommend to you right now. The first one is called, and it's one of the most popular songs of theirs. It's called The Amazing Maze. I believe it was off of one of the Bizarre records. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. The Amazing Maze, and then the other one that was on the Jekyll Brothers, which was their 5th album, and it had Snoop Dogg on it. The Shaggy Show or some shit like that. I would like to see the surprise on their face. Like, if you don't tell them that Snoop was on their record, when they hear Snoop pop on the record, but maybe because they're musicians, they know how features work. Like, it's probably not as mind-blowing for an artist to hear somebody of Snoop's stature on their song, because they probably paid him like 50 grand. Hold on, I gotta grab a drink real quick. But I do want to bring up, you know what? I talk a lot of shit about these guys, dude, but I did read their fucking book, which ironically I just remembered that I did that. I don't even know how many years ago that shit was, but I did read it.
You gonna show everybody her new haircut?
I mean, I did read their book. Well, I should say Jay's book, because I think he was the one that wrote it. I think it was called Behind the Paint, and it was an interesting read from what I can remember. Like, those guys have been around for a long time, and they've seen their share of shit. You know, they almost got beat the fuck up because they went on tour with a bunch of other rap groups, and apparently, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Onyx that they were touring with. And first of all, whoever the fuck thought, you know, it would be a great pairing on tour, Onyx and the ICP. Whoever thought of that should be fucking fired, shot, and fired again. Fuck out of here. What are you thinking, bro? They could not be more different. Nothing about Onyx says, oh, you know what I could go for right now? Couple of goofy white guys dressed up like clowns talking about a fucking dark carnival and smoking crack cocaine. That's what I could do. I could be into that. There's no connection at all whatsoever. But I mean, I would recommend it. It's been years since I read it. But, you know, he said basically these dudes take care of the artists that go on their show, that do the gathering. They get paid handsomely. You know what I mean? They're backstage. They got like official trailers and air conditioning and all kinds of shit. So they hook people up, and apparently they've never fucked over any artist that they've had come and do the show. Now, I can't say the same for artists that were on their record label. I'm not looking at anybody specifically. Allegedly Twisted, ABK, you know, guys like that. Heard horror stories about these dudes ripping people up. Don't know how much of it is rumor and how much of it is fact. All I'm saying is, you never know, but that's not my business. That's not my business. All I know is I support the people I like, but I would like to see what Vinny would think. He probably wouldn't. I know for a fact he wouldn't be into it. I don't know the dude, but I can tell by his musical preferences from the shit that he talks about. He's got no time at all for this. As a matter of fact, for a dude that's a rap artist, he don't even fuck with rap music. The only rap artist that guy really fucks with is Big Pun. That's it. Everything else, that guy listens to like hardcore metal bands, dude. Punk rock, metal, black metal, whatever the fuck it is. Like that's the type of shit that he listens to. So he don't even fuck around with rap like that. So I mean, I wouldn't imagine it would go over very well. But I mean, dude, definitely, I'm not gonna do it any justice if I sit here and try to talk about the podcast. The only gripe I have is that sometimes the OG does eat on a microphone, which drives me fucking crazy. But it bothers me when anybody does it. But I mean, whenever you just gotta either fast forward through it or you gotta deal with it because they don't fucking care. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. And I mean, whatever gives a shit. Right? What does it matter? These guys seem like good dudes. I had an ex-girlfriend that would play their shit all the time.
I like coming in my room.
Yeah, that's the Hell's Pit album. That's Dark Lotus. That's different.
And then that going sneak in your room. Hey, your mom left the door open. Thanks, you fucking idiot. And now coming in.
Yeah, it's the Boogie song.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's actually called, but dude, there was a time where, I'd listen to their shit, but the difference is, like, I knew from the beginning. See, I got friends that'd be like, bro, I don't know how the fuck you listen to this garbage. Like, you do know this is not good, right? Like, yeah, man, obviously. It's not about, you know how much of a jerk off you sound like? When you got to be like, dude, I know it's not good, but it's about the shit that they're saying more than the lyrical content. Nobody wants to hear that, because then you're just making excuses. Everything's all fucked up. But I knew it was trash. There was some good stuff that came out of it. Some of their stuff is good. You just gotta know what to look for, what to sift through to find the shit that's decent. Because a lot of it, you'll listen to it and be like, man, this is fucking terrible. Like, no wonder why rap is what it is. But the one thing, these motherfuckers know how to throw a concert, dude. For sure. If you don't give them anything else, even if you don't like their music, I would urge you to get a ticket whenever concerts become a thing again and go to one of their shows, because it's an experience that is worth worth experiencing. I mean, I know it's a terrible way to put it, but I mean, in all seriousness though, it really is. Like, these guys got all types of shit. Like, they got trampolines on the stage and they're just fucking chucking 2 liters of soda into the crowd, onto people. You know what I mean? Like, they got all kinds of shit up on the stage. Plus some of the acts, at least they used to do this. I doubt they do it anymore. But I've told this before on here, I think, where one of the dudes I went to the show with fucking smoked a blunt with Mac 10 in the fucking crowd. The kid didn't even know who the fuck Mac 10 was. He just happened to be hanging out with a guy that was at the show. And the dude was like, Mac 10 said to the dude, like, all right, bro, I'll be right back. And then went and jumped on stage and did his fucking set. It's so fucking cool, dude. I mean, I'm sure they don't do that anymore for obvious reasons. People are fucking crazy. But, you know, I mean, it's definitely, it's not all bad, but you can't lie to yourself and say that the ICP is where you go for groundbreaking lyrical content, because it's not. Honestly, it isn't. A lot of it is wrapped around weird gimmicks of sorts, you know, about fucking eating and banging dead bodies and shit like that. But they're just being weird because they were trying to, these guys are a couple of fucking weirdo losers, right? Just like me, just like you. So they had to figure out a way to get a hold of other weirdo losers. So they just started talking crazy shit, put on a clown fucking deal, figured out a way to put a hell of a stage show on, and there they go. I mean, that's something. But, you know, I mean, I'm not here to convert anybody. I honestly think one of the things that I really enjoy about the band and hate about the band at the same time is the fucking fans. Because in the beginning, if you actually do wind up getting into their fucking music, even in the slightest bit, everybody that listens to it is like, oh, you're a fake and you're not the real deal. And by the way, you gotta hate everything that is not ICP because it's not them. Like you can't listen to Eminem and you gotta be a follower because ICP had beef with them 100 moons ago. So you gotta have beef too. I'm not with all that. I'll like who I like. Thank you very much. I don't need to be part of a fucking cult. I never went for that shit, dude. Some people are like that though, where they get very territorial. Like, God forbid you saying you don't like something that they've done. Like, you would have to have conversations in private with motherfuckers about this shit, because God forbid, you know, word gets around and a couple of dick riders hear that you said some shit other people don't like, and it's gonna be a problem, because all of a sudden, you know, all these people that were supposedly outcasted are making it their personal fucking business to make sure that other people aren't accepted in, which is fucking stupid. I don't see what the point of that is. The whole purpose is because you were a jerk off all by yourself, nowhere to go, nobody to go to. So you find a community that will be willing to take you in just because of the fact that you and have nobody else. And then when you get linked up, you turn other people away? The fuck is that? That's counterproductive to the whole point of what you're trying to do. But there's fake fucks in every sector of fandom and life and friendships and relationships and whatever. It's just what it is. But I mean, there's shit like, dude, Doug just told me, I already knew this, but I think sometimes, and I'm not even trying to say anything bad about him, I think sometimes people that know me, like, I think they know that I'm with it, but I don't think they realize sometimes how with it I actually am. Like, I knew from the moment that I met that dude at a fucking ICP concert, bro, by chance. I just happened to be, you know, roaming around in the fucking joint. You know, conversation took place, and then that was that. Started hanging out with him shortly after that, but I knew right away, dude was not really into the music at all, or even like the sense of community, I guess, was what he liked, but that's it. But when he was around me, he would try to play it off as if, you know, the music was something that he enjoyed, which, I mean, I get why you would do that. he doesn't know the type of person I am, and you gotta fake it until you make it, I guess. But he just told me like 2 weeks ago. He was like, bro, I never told you this, and I know we've been friends for like 20 years, but I don't think you ever knew this about me. He goes, honestly, I never really liked the music at all. I would just, listen to it when other people were around that listened to it. Like if I was coming to get you, I would be listening to some other shit. And then right before I get to your house, I would change it out and put their shit on to make it like I was listening to that the whole time, which is fucking stupid, but I get it. I get it. You got to try to chameleon sometimes, But I knew that right away. And if I'm being honest with myself, some of the shit, basically what it was, I mean, I've talked about this already, so I suppose I don't need to bring it up again. But it's basically the cornering of the market of, my life is fucked up. My family doesn't give a fuck about me. I really don't have any friends. If I fucking died right now and anybody even noticed, like, I think you have to go through, if you've never been through that in your life, I recommend it's definitely not something that you want to do. Yeah, to be fair, I don't listen to Project Pat because he's a lyrical genius either. Sometimes you just want to set the mood. When you're in it, when you need to get them chicken heads in order, right? I know about Project Pat, dude. Who the fuck you think you're dealing with right now, bro? I had his original shit. I can't remember the name of the fucking album. Wait. Mr. Don't Play, I think, is something like that. I'm going to look it up right now. Project Pat. It's a green album. I know it. The second I seen it, I'll be able to tell you exactly what it is, dude. I used to listen to that shit every day. And bro, I got a secret I want to share with you. I fucking hated, a small part of me still does, but I fucking hated down south rap, dude, because a lot of it is the shit that you hear in trap music now, which is the sprinkler hi-hats and all that shit, right? Like, I hated that. I was like, dude, why do all these motherfuckers want to do the same shit? Right? But then I find this album right here. I would like to take a moment and I would like to thank two people. If you're not a fan of rap, hip hop music, you're going to have no idea who I'm mentioning right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because if you've been fucking deep into this shit for as long as I have, you should know what I'm talking. You should know I know what I'm talking about right now. But I should take this time to thank DJ Clue, which I mean is the more commercial, and P Cutter for putting me on shit, dude. Back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s, if you were trying to come up on music and you wanted to be in the loop on what all the new shit was, to try to figure out who was coming out with a new album, what's going on in the world of beef right now. I mean, this is back when, I'm talking about back when, like, the Locks and Rockefeller were beefing, man. Way before, I'm talking before the 50 in game beef. You know what I mean? We're not talking about Nas and Jay-Z, where everybody knows it's just a lyrical contest. I'm talking about real shit. When Jadakiss was going to Beanie Siegel, bro, when motherfuckers were about to take shit to the street. Seriously. I don't know either of those men, but I promise you, dude, you couldn't pay me enough to fuck with somebody out of LOX, dude. No way. No fucking way. I believe 100%. I believe those records, dude. And I don't say that lightly at all. No, I literally didn't. Hold on. No, I literally didn't watch the last season. There's just so much stuff out there. You forget about shows. Well, dude, we've all done that. I was just breaking your balls. We've all done that, though. Especially because some new shit will come along. You'll be in the middle of watching a show, and some new shit will come out, and you'll be like, oh, man, this looks so good. Let me just watch one episode and see how it's going to turn out. And before you know it, you're fucking knee deep in like season 3 of a show that came out like 10 years ago, and your mind is blown because you can't believe how has this shit been around for so long and I didn't know about it. And before you realize, now you completely forgot about the other show that you were watching, and unfortunately it just kind of becomes background noise. Rick and Morty. Love some Rick and Morty, dude. Love me some Rick and Morty. I'm waiting for that new season, man. Waiting for fucking Hulu to get their life together. I want to see it. Fuck. But dude, look, good googly boogly. That's some Joey Diaz shit right there, dude. Bro, but listen, I want to finish this point real fast. If you wanted to know what was up in the fucking world of rap music, dude, you hit the fucking swap meet or the flea market, whatever it is that you call it, wherever you're from, right? And you could find there was always the Asian motherfuckers, bro. And this is not stereotype shit. There's not some racist type shit. This is real deal, bro. The Asians at the flea market have 2 markets locked down. White tees, guinea tees, socks. 1 market. Bootleg CDs are the other market, dude. No bullshit. I don't know how these motherfuckers do it, bro. But these Asian cats always have the best shit, dude. I can't explain it to you. I don't know why it was them and not a different group of people. I don't know. All I know is that every Saturday when I went to the fucking flea market, dude, my guy was there and he had fresh shit every time I went, dude. So there was a new fucking mixtape, and I know it was, looking back on it now, it may have been In a Civilized World. It's called The Store. No, dude. No, bro. This is real backwoods country type shit. I'm saying, like, bro, you know the Meadowlands, I'm sure, right? I forget where you're from. I don't know why I want to say Seattle, but for some reason I think you're from Seattle, right? Don't quote me. I'm not John Edwards, bro. I can't tell you about what your dead relatives are trying to say to you, and I don't know where you're from. Chinese bro, you're crazy. The Chinese underworld is financed by the Communist Party. Oh, Long Beach, California. You fucking cunt. Dude, you're from Snoop's area. Okay, well, I don't know what you got out in California, but I'm sure you've heard of MetLife Stadium, right? It's where the Giants play. It's home of the Giants, NFL Giants. The Jets and the Giants play there. It's a football stadium outside in a parking lot. They still have it to this day. I'm pretty sure they still do it on weekends. On MetLife, at MetLife Stadium, they have the entire parking lot gets opened up. Somebody puts out tables, and people can come from wherever, and they rent out a table. What the fuck? What? You mean can he cash it? You mean? She said, can he butt it in? I don't know. I'm assuming that. Yeah, that's what I think she meant. But she said, can you butt it in? So I just said, you mean cash it? I know. I'm breaking her balls. Yeah, it's in there. I wouldn't give you a check if I didn't have the money in the bank, bro. I'm not an asshole. You know what I mean? If I didn't have the money in the bank, I would have gave you a date and told you to hold on to the check until I was ready.
Yeah, but they would have still cashed it anyway.
Yeah, we have our swap meets out here at junior college. You would love it out here year-round, good weather. Bro, that's exactly what it is, except it's not at a college. It's at a fucking NFL stadium. The parking lot is huge, bro. And the same motherfuckers usually go every weekend. They show up every weekend. You got your guinea tea guy. You got your socks dude. You got your rip-off, your knockoff purses and sweaters. You know what I mean? You can't afford the polo outlet. Don't even worry about it, bro. Don't even worry about it. My guy over here selling that same shit that you can pass off around a certain amount of people as legitimate. Yeah, but you know, I don't know if they mixed the CDs back then, but every Saturday I would go and I would get some new shit and it would be like $5, probably less than that. And you get a 20-track CD and it had everything. There was the volumes of Beef. Oh, shit. Been to the Crenshaw swap meet. Straight gangster. Bro, fuck that. I'm not even going to lie to you. I would not be caught dead. I don't know where Crenshaw is, but I can promise you I would not be caught dead anywhere near there. Not in Crenshaw, not in Compton, not in Martin Luther King Boulevard. None of those fucking places, dude. No way. I've heard enough California rap music to know better. Unless you got a pass, you don't go. I certainly don't have a pass, and even if I did have one, I wouldn't go anyway. Not unless I had some guys I knew like 100%, you know, that would be okay. And even then, I don't know if I would trust it. I mean, I would like to see it, like maybe from Google Maps perspective or something like that. You know, just take a look around, see how different life is like. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but I know every state and every city, there are slums and ghettos and stuff. Compton got gentrified. It's all white people. That's wild. But look at this, dude. I knew Gorilla Pimp. If you ain't from my hood, good googly moogly, chicken head, don't saber. Man, Project Pat has one of those voices, dude. Break the law. Holy shit. Dude, you know, you gotta look up. Why does that sound familiar? I think I might have heard that on what's his name? I think I might have heard that on a DJ Quick song, dude, talking about sauce and swap meet. Or maybe I'm thinking of the Chronic, the original record. You know, the first one that Dr. Dre put out. I think he made a reference to that swap meet. I'm going to take a look. Good googly moogly. God damn it. Now I got Project Pat in my head now. Yeah, Gamer Quick, 100%, dude. Oh, of course, robbery comes right up. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Oh, it's in a mall. I bet you probably get killed out there. Oh, I want to see it. I never been, dude. My friend Doug moved to fucking California, dude. I've never been. I wanted to go since the beginning of my weed career when I was like 15. I wanted to go to California, dude. I just want to see it. I just want to know what it feels like to walk around in the fucking California sunshine, dude. Palm trees everywhere. Go into a fucking weed dispensary and buy some shit and walk out and be like, dude, I can light this shit right here. Nobody's gonna care, man. That's fucking awesome. Like, bro, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd when it comes to shit like that, dude. Honestly. But I don't care. Like, California has been such an influence on my life, dude. Bro, I had a guy, I was buying papers. I was buying papers from Cumberland Farms. Those places, I don't even think they exist no more. Well, I'll look it up right now. Maybe you'll have one. Maybe you'll have one where you live. Or as it might be formerly known, or rather how it's known now, is a Circle K. Because I'm pretty sure Circle K came out of Florida and bought up all the Cumberland Farms that there has ever been. I have no evidence to back that up. But look at. This is not what it looked like. Give me an old sign. Come on now, don't bullshit me. There we go. This is what I know. This is what I know and what I love, god damn it. That's it right there. I go into a Cumberland Farms, bro, which is right up the street where I lived at, and I go in there and I get papers, right? And I don't know if this is true. You can confirm this or deny it if it's not true. But I go in there. I don't like to roll big joints. I mean, I can't roll joints. My hands are too shaky. But I always. What? I ate it. I can cook you another one. If you want one. I ate the other one earlier. Yes, exactly what it is. A 7-Eleven. 100%. But, dude, I go in there and I get my favorite paper is either Easy Widers or Zigzags because I like the classics, and I get a 1 1/4 always. So dude behind the counter has got one of his fucking friends with him. This guy's got a hoodie on, his sun tanned up, flip flops. Like you could just smell. You could literally smell the palm trees coming off of this fucking kid. And he looks at me and he's like, 1 1/4, huh? Like, yeah. What is that? Is that an issue? Like, well, am I not doing it right? Because these fucking weed snobs, bro, like to tell you what you should and should not be rolling. And they were like, bro, that's how we do it out in California, man. I didn't know that people out on the East Coast got down like that. I'm like, dude, I didn't know that that's how people in California did it. That's just the perfect size for a regular joint. When you don't want to waste, a crazy amount of your weed in one joint, especially if you're only taking it to the head by yourself. 1 1/4 is a perfect rolling measurement, dude. There's no, get the fuck out of here.
I'm having cheese burrito.
Oh, yes, they are. They're like Karens. Goddamn right. Dude, bro, you know what? Since we're on the subject, since you brought it up, I've been hesitant to talk about this because, look, as we all know, I've mentioned this before. I got a weed charge on me. I'm not a big time drug dealer, nothing like that. Don't get it confused. But the one thing that I hate, do you mind? The one thing that I hate is, okay, listen up. Alleged weed dealers all around the world. Yeah, I see it. Kind of like the same color as the.
That's the one I was painting, just for the fuck of it, because I just didn't want to waste my paint.
Yeah.
So I did something. Yeah, that's what it came out after I outlined it.
Well, dude, I mean, this is to all the alleged weed dealers across the globe, man. Enough with the fucking names. All right? Enough with the fucking names. This is OG alien Kush, Colombian gold, fucking hybrid, blue dreaming, AK-47 strand, motherfucker. One hit of this shit will land you on
Like it's supposed to be
another planet.
like original OG Kush. Somebody that we.
That don't sound good.
What?
Watch now, I got the fucking COVID now.
How? Who pussy were you eating?
Not anybody's. Well, no, technically, yeah, yours. I forgot I did that shit. Dude, I've had it, man. I've had it. I've had it with the fucking names. Enough already. We both know whatever you got is not Kush, first of all. Second, stop making up stupid fucking names for strands of weed, bro. Number one rule, and my friend from fucking Oregon can probably back me up on this. If you don't know whether you have a sativa or an indica, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to go, oh, this is some OG Kush, bro. Oh, is it really? Is it really? What is it? Is it indica or sativa? And they go, oh, I don't know. It's all the same shit. No, it isn't, dude. No, it isn't. One gives you a fucking panic attack, and the other one will help you relax. Those are not the same fucking thing. One is a good time. The other one is a terrible time. We've gotten to the point now. Yeah, me too. It's pretty gay. Dude, I'm indica through and through. Sativas make me panic. My hands are going numb. I start sweating. I have anxiety. My heart's pounding out of my chest.
You do some. You would do some sativa a little bit, but I think it would have to be the hybrid.
Yeah, but it had to be a hybrid.
Yeah.
A hybrid is all right. Hybrid's all right. Indica dominated hybrids. Exactly. That's all right. I'll do one of those. But a straight sativa would fuck up my entire day. No good. But dude, I'm tired of this shit, man. Tired of this shit, dude. I can't take it. If you don't know, like I've witnessed this. And not that I know anybody that's fucking selling, but you know, nowadays with people having medical licenses and some dispensaries are open, we can start to have open conversation a little bit more, right? So, you know, I talk to people from time to time, you know what I mean? And you would be shocked, honestly. You would be shocked at the level of spoiled that some of these fucking people are. When you say the words indica and sativa, those words have become George Carlin and Richard Pryor in some circles. In other words, what I'm trying to say is you say indica, sativa, Carlin and Pryor, people saying, what the fuck is that you're talking about? I don't know what that is. What do you mean? They go, bro, I just buy whatever and I smoke it and it makes me feel better, so I don't question it. That's fucking dumb. That's stupid, dude. The second I figured out that there was a difference between indica and sativa, now granted, I didn't have options, okay? There was one fucking guy, maybe two dudes coming up that had weed on them, and it was one of those two dudes. You didn't get a fucking option. You didn't get to choose what kind you were going to get. Whatever that motherfucker had that week is what you got. And that was if you got to him in time before he ran out. Now these motherfuckers have options to choose and they don't even know the difference. Don't even know the difference. It breaks my fucking heart, man. It really does. It breaks my heart, dude. I can't handle it. I want to tell my stories. I can't yet. I'm waiting for it to get legalized, and then I will look. They're not crazy stories. I never got into shootouts. You know, I've been robbed before. I've been beat before. Obviously, sneaky people, but like never. Nobody ever beat me up and took my weed and was like, "Yeah, fuck you, fag," and spit on me or anything like that. It wasn't anything like that. When I say like I got beat, I mean like I go to make a deal. Somebody grabs it and they fucking peel off shit like that. Like that kind of stuff you can't avoid. Nature of the business. What can you do? But dude, I want to tell you in the worst way. And I know, look, it's a matter of respect. You got to understand. I need to get my record expunged, okay? I can't get my record expunged, try to go get my record expunged and have somebody in the court system look my name up, have a podcast come up where I'm talking about stories about when I sold weed once upon a time, and then look at that and go, yeah, we don't really think you should get your record clear. That's really what it is. When it's legalized, that could be a different story. Everybody has stories. It's bad enough that I don't want people to come up the way that I did. I don't want people to be afraid. I will be happy if the next generation of kids that are coming up don't ever have to fucking buy weed from some creepy dude that could be laced, whatever it is. It's dirt, it's oregano. There's different entry levels to the game. You know what I mean? Everybody starts as a rookie at some time. You got to figure out the ropes. But I'm saying, like, I would be happy for the next generation if they never have to buy some shit off the street again, where they're always going to know what they're smoking or eating or vaping. They know where it came from and they know it's safe. Not like this shit that we didn't have to. We did it because, well, I mean, I can't speak for other people, but it certainly made me feel better. I mean, honestly, I know I mentioned this. There's, dude, believe me, I want to talk to you so badly about some of this shit. And I don't want to fuck myself over. And I can't promise you that the stories are going to knock your socks off, but dude, if I can do it, I got in the business, bro. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a hardcore guy. I'm not a tough dude. I'm an honest man. In the sense that, look, first of all, I have a rule in my life, okay? I will never sell somebody some shit that I would not do myself. Never. Now, let me be clear on that. In other words, I would never sell ecstasy. I would not sell heroin, even though I have dabbled. I would never sell cocaine. I would never do, or pills. I would not sell pills. Are the potheads falling off? The weed industry is much more chill. I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't think so. Just because, I mean, the problem is the state needs people like me. And look, I'm not trying to say, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Okay? I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I suck at math. I can count grams. Dude. I know how to weigh. If you give me a pound, I will break that shit down into ounces, quarters, and eighths, and 20 sacks because dimes and nickels don't exist anymore. And I can break that shit down for you. I can show you how to weigh it out, how to bag it up, do all that. But I know there's always gonna be a street market. Is because the nature of it is not life or death like other drugs. Well, yeah, exactly. That's part of it. But it's also because, like, dude, I'll go into a little bit of the story because by the time I wind up telling it, we're not going to be voting until November anyway, possibly later because of the corona. But I'm going to tell what got me locked up. What got me locked up for weed, one of the many things that happened, was there was a girl, her name was Bambi. That was not her real name. I don't know what her real name is. I don't care to know what her real name is. But this girl used to come around every week or so, and she would grab like 40 off of me, right? Because it was 2 for 40, or you get your standard 3 for 60, 7 for 120 to 150, or you can go the straight 14 to the 28. It's up to you. But I mean, most people that were coming through for small amounts, which is not good for foot traffic. Dude, I swear to you, I promise you, I will break all this shit down. I will teach you from the mistakes that I made, so that hopefully, you can understand how to avoid that shit. But this girl would come around like every week, right? And the last couple of times I see her, she's acting fucking weird. I don't know what's going on, but something ain't right. And like I said, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I know something don't seem right here. So she pulls up, and I was a fucking idiot. I was selling directly outside of the place where I lived. I didn't know any fucking better, dude. I was stupid. I figured it's a fucking residential area. I can see the main comings and goings. There's no way, like, everything's gonna be fine, right? I didn't realize you don't shit where you eat. I'll quote Jadakiss, and I was saying, what's the line? He says, basically, keep your money in your work. Oh, fuck, what is the goddamn line? Hold on, I'm gonna look up this song real fast. Give me 2 seconds, because it's killing me. Give me a second. I know exactly what song it is, so it's not gonna take me very long to pull it up. I know it's on the third verse. There it is. That's the line. He said, "Don't be playing them close. Keep the money away. Keep the..." Oh, fuck. Hold on. That's what he said. Don't be playing them close. Keep the work, aka the drugs, away from the guns, and keep the money away from them both. That I wish I would have had the foresight to know this shit. I mean, I know people were they were giving the rules out. I was just stupid and didn't pay attention to what I was listening to the way I do now. But that's real shit. Don't shit where you eat ever. But another story for another day. Anyway, she winds up pulling up, and she's in the passenger seat. There's a girl driving, and there's another girl in the back. So she pulls up, and she's going to get her shit. So I get her stuff out, right? And it's just weed. I'm not selling anything else. And for some reason, the girl in the back seat, I guess her conscience started to get to her, whatever. And because she's yelling at her, the girl from the back seat is yelling at Bambi in the passenger seat as they're pulling up. She's like, "Dude, what the fuck, man? You said you were not going to do this shit. Yeah, here we are, and you're doing it. What the fuck? I thought we talked about this." This is almost as if you're going to the bar, and you find a good-looking girl and you're trying to take her home, but she's got her ugly friend with her, and her friend won't leave because they came together and they're leaving together, that's the energy that this girl in the back seat has. Right? So I'm like, dude, is everything cool in here? Like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, dude, mind your fucking business. Just give me the fucking shit. Right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So what she wound up doing was she pulled out $1, and then she had a fucking piece of paper. So she made it look like there was more than there actually was. She tried to slip me a piece of paper and fucking beat me for the money. But her friends are fucking stupid. So as soon as I notice, like, this motherfucker is trying to dick me over. Wait, hold on. I skipped a part. Because the girl in the back seat is flipping. Because it turns out that Bambi is pregnant, dude. She's gonna have a baby. Now, I don't know. I know you're not supposed to have a conscience about these types of things, right? And if you're gonna make it in a business like this, you can't afford to feel bad for other people. That's just a fact of life. However, I can't, in good conscience, I can't have some shit like that on my head. Now, I know you can easily say, well, dude, you don't have any control. How you know you're not going to sell a gram to somebody that's going to smoke a joint and go crash their car? That's true. I don't know that, but I try not to think about it. You know what I mean? I just try to think that, like, you know, people will be responsible, even though they probably won't. But the girl from the back seat is ripping on this girl like, dude, you're pregnant. And I was like, whoa, dude, like, I'm not about to be fucking doing this with you, man. So her friend, when I was like, dude, I'm not doing, like, I need the money, but I don't need the money that bad. I would rather lose out than have that shit on my head. God forbid this girl smokes this joint and, you know, something happens and she loses the baby. I don't want that on my fucking mind. Or if the baby comes out retarded or some shit, I don't need that. I don't need that in my fucking life. I got enough bad karma as it is already. So her girlfriends are like, bro, we'll just take it. They try to beat me. They give me a piece of paper and I fucking yell at them like, yo, stop. What are you doing? I run up to the car. I'm like, bro, you try to fuck me? You tried to fuck me. Are you serious? Every time you come, do I not take care of you, dude? What the fuck? This is the thanks I get. You try to get me to fucking violate my own ethics, and this is the fucking thanks I get. You fuck me? I'm like, bro, don't fucking come back here again, dude. And get your fucking life together. Take care of the fucking baby. I don't want to see your fucking face, and don't come back here because I'm not giving you shit. Honestly. And she's like, oh, well, you're going to wish that you never said that. I'm going to tell my boyfriend about this, and, you know, we'll see about what you will and you won't be doing. In my naive brain, I actually said, oh, please tell your boyfriend. I will call him for you. I'm sure he would love to know about how his pregnant girlfriend is out here trying to fucking score weed with a fucking child in her stomach. I'm sure he wants to hear all about that. Bring him the fuck up, please. You know, go fuck yourself, whatever. Anyway, turns out her boyfriend happened to be a fucking class A narc, right? So I guess then we did find out what happened to me. That motherfucker wound up being partially to blame for getting me arrested. However, there's a silver lining in this whole story. Fast forward, we're talking years later. That girl, after that day, she disappeared. I did not see her again. I'm over somebody's house who shall remain nameless for the safety of everybody involved. I'm over somebody's house, and who the fuck do I see walk into the garage but Bambi, dude? And everybody's fucking smoking weed. The blunts are out. Weed is everywhere. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I pull somebody up to the side. I'm like, dude, you got to put all that shit the fuck away right now. You got to get rid of it, dude. I'm telling you, this girl's a fucking rat. She's like, what are you talking about, bro? We smoke with this girl all the time. She hangs out with us all the time. She's not a fucking rat. What are you, retarded? Bro, listen to me. I'm telling you, this motherfucker is partially the reason why I got arrested. She fucking narked me out. So, I mean, obviously, I bring it up to a couple of people quietly. I don't want to make a scene, right? So, of course, they all tell me to go fuck myself. Nobody believes me. They all think I'm making it up. Why anybody would make that up is beyond me. I have no idea. And she's staring at me and she's like, man, you look really familiar, but I can't place where I know you from. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. You probably got me confused with somebody else. I hear I have one of those faces. Like I'm pulling out every excuse I could think of. One of the jerk offs that I'm hanging out with goes, oh, you should know, you know where the cowboy is at over at the gas station and this place and that place. He lives over there. I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious? Like, you just gave up my address to this bitch? Like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? And she's like, oh, that's right. I do remember you now. You lived in this neighborhood off of this street, whatever, all that. Like, yeah, okay. So I get freaked out. So I roll. Like, I'm fucking anxiety attacked up at this time because I'm thinking any second the cops are going kicking the door. All of us are fucking going to jail. Like, this is going to be bad. This is going to be really bad. Long story short, cops never came. Nothing happened. Fast forward a couple of weeks. I'm in the same place and I'm at a fucking birthday party. Right? When she came to the house originally, she was by herself. I mean, as she should have been. It was fucking almost midnight. But she's out back. And there was a swing set out back, one of them ones that you can get at like Home Depot or some shit. So she's hanging out back, and there's a kid out there, and I'm looking at this girl. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, there's no way, like, right? It could it possibly, like, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So she winds up, she sees me sneaking out back. Like, I'm trying to creep around so that she doesn't see me, but she's already spotted me. It's too late. And she's like, dude, like, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, oh, shit. I don't want this. I don't want this at all. I don't want this at all. Every part of my body right now is like, fuck you, you fucking cunt bitch. You ruined my life. But I don't say any of that. I keep it all inside, even though it's screaming throughout my mind. Is screaming right now. Like, you should just fucking punch this bitch in her fucking head and be done with it. But she's like, dude, she literally pulls me aside and she's like, hey, I know what I did to you. I know what I did to you was fucked up. You have to understand where I was at in my life. I was not ready. I was not ready to hear somebody tell me some shit that I needed to hear. Least of all, from all people, the guy that I buy my fucking weed from. Like, I wasn't ready to hear any of that. I was in a really bad spot in my life, abusive relationship, the whole fucking deal. But she was like, after everything that happened, in other words, me getting fucking narked out, going to jail, not dropping anybody else's name, because unlike some fucking people, I held my own goddamn weight. Thank you very much. She was like, after I heard about what all happened and that, you got arrested and all this shit, she's like, I couldn't get out of my mind, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said, I couldn't get out of my mind the shit that you said to me. And like, I was thinking that, I should try to pull myself together, which eventually I did. And as you can see, and she points over to the swings, and her son is playing over on the swing set. She's like, now I have my son, I'm sober, all that shit. I mean, outside of the weed, obviously, but I mean, like, hard drugs, she's sober from. So she's like, I just, you taking that hit helped me to get to the point of where I am. Like, it took me going through all of that to basically straighten my fucking shit out. So what I'm getting at is, I know nobody should ever be fucking proud of the fact that no matter who tries to make it sound cool, it's not cool to fucking sell drugs. It's not cool to go to jail. It's not cool to go to prison, end up on probation. Should be a therapist or a youth counselor. Bro, I wanted to be a therapist. Dead ass. I wanted to be a therapist. And then I found out you got to go to 14 years of college. That's what stopped me. Otherwise, I was going to be I wanted to be a therapist and try to help people that have mental problems, because I'm a person that has mental problems. And I feel like I'm sure everything in the textbooks probably saying, fire plus fire equals flames, right? Like, that wouldn't be good. Put a crazy person in a room to counsel a crazy person, nothing good's gonna come out of that. But the way that I kind of felt about it was, I've been to shrinks offices, right? And one of my biggest beefs is that when I'm talking to these people, they don't care about what I'm saying. Do they give a shit about me and what I'm going through? Not really. They're there for the paycheck. At least if I knew on some level that this woman or this man that I'm speaking with could really understand where I'm coming from. Like, you saying, I know how you feel. I understand that. I can see why you would feel that way. But can you? Have you ever been so depressed that you fucking are staring at a handful of pills, that you're 2 seconds away from popping them all at once? You ever been there? How many times did you fucking have a dry run with a blade to your throat? I'll wait. You tell me. Obviously, I'm still sitting here, so I got out of it the other side fucking better for having gone through it. But these people don't understand, and I don't want them to. I don't want bad things to happen to anybody. But it's just the point that, how the fuck are you going to help me if you don't know where the fuck I'm coming from? How can you help me? You don't know what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some shit people just don't understand. But dude, I mean, look, if for no other fucking reason, maybe I'm lying to myself, right? Maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe it doesn't mean anything. But if you would have told me before, if you said, listen, dude, here's the deal. You're gonna dabble in doing some shit you shouldn't be doing, but it's so you can get by. So you can treat your fucking symptoms, right? Because I was smoking and I was breaking one of the main commandments of being a fucking pusher, which is if you've seen Scarface or you've heard the 10 crack commandments by Biggie Smalls, Rule number 4, I know you heard this before, never get high on your own supply, right? That's the way it goes. But sometimes, that very thing is helping you get through the day and not, making you think about killing yourself every couple fucking minutes. But I did what I had to do. But, if you would have told me beforehand, like, dude, you're gonna get wrapped up in some shit. And listen, you're gonna get caught, right? You're gonna do 3 years probation. You're gonna barely escape from doing jail time. I don't know how much time I actually would have done. After it was all said and done, when I went to the fucking, not the trial, whatever they call it, the court appearance, it went from 3 years to 6 months. Because the lawyer that I had was an ex-cop out of one of the townships who knew everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody from every fucking police department in the 4 surrounding cities to every judge in the superior court. This motherfucker knew everybody, dude. It helps when your lawyer plays golf with the judge. That's helpful. You know what I mean? So he brought it down to 6 months. I was only going to have to do 3 years was the maximum. But I mean, it was only 3 grams of weed. But the point is, you're going to go 3 years probation. You're going to barely escape from doing jail time. You're going to get pretrial intervention, which means you do the 3 years probation. You can have your record expunged after that. Not really. And for the next 14 years of your life, you're not going to be able to rent an apartment. You're not going to be able to do any of that shit. You guys are going to be homeless for a while. Everything is going to be fucked up. Everything is going to be fucked up. But on the plus side, you getting caught and going to jail helps somebody turn their life around. Because you had to go through some shit that will affect you for a long time. Even as we sit here right now, my name is not on the lease in this place because I have a fucking drug conviction on my record. Be it only marijuana, it still is not the point. But if you would have told me like that's what's going to happen, but somebody will change their life. A child will have a mother because of that. I mean, doesn't that make it worth it? Is that not worth? Like, karma got me, dude. That's what happened. Karma got me. When I tell you, every dollar that I saved, down to the fucking penny, went to lawyer fees, court fees, probation costs, every goddamn cent. I didn't have a fucking dollar left over. Ironically enough, the exact amount of money that I had made went directly to those things. So it's almost like the universe said, listen, buddy, you're not getting away with this. Every dime that you've earned, you're going to put back into the system. Not only that, but you're going to have to go through some shit so that somebody else can get a leg up. But that's your karma. In my heart, dude, I really do believe I fucked up. I made a bad choice. Right? I shouldn't have did what I did. I had standards, I had rules. Nobody, no children ever, no excuses. No, you know what I mean? There's rules to this shit. There's things you don't do. No matter what. And I know it's easy to have rules when you're in a bad spot, but it's not so bad that if you don't sell some shit, you're not going to eat. Right? So it's easy to say, like, oh, well, there's things I'm not going to do, but I would rather not I'd rather not eat than sell to a fucking child or something like that, dude. I couldn't live with that. I couldn't live with that on my head. Now I don't know what damage may or may not have been done, but these people were gonna, the way I rationalized it was these people are gonna get it from somewhere. Why shouldn't I fucking make a little bit of money and be able to feel better at the same time? What's wrong with that? Somebody's gonna make it. Why and that somebody be you? We're never gonna go harder than that. And I mean, obviously, you get people that will try to persuade you. Like, bro, you know there's no money in weed, right? There is, dumbass, if you work the system right. Obviously, you're not gonna become a millionaire. You can make money. You can make money off of, dude. Bro, believe me when I tell you, there's a way to make money. You're not gonna be balling, as they say, right? You're not gonna be able to go out and buy a new car, but you'll have enough if you spend 5 on a zip, maybe you make $1,000 back and you re-up 2 more zips, or maybe you get 1 more and buy higher grades. So like there's things you could do. There's things you could do. I was making money, man, but I never fucked anybody. I took care of my people. Everybody didn't take care of me. I found that shit out the hard way. But that's what it is. That's the nature of the business. They say there's no honor amongst thieves, bro. There's no honor, period. There is no honor system anymore. People don't have fucking rules and regulations anymore, dude. There was a time, and granted, I mean, what the fuck do I know? But there was a time when, these things were not acceptable. It was not acceptable for you to get into some shit and throw somebody else into a situation you didn't want to be in. It's not acceptable to knowingly fuck up somebody's life, dude. It's not. Certain things you don't do. But I mean, I want to get into these stories, but I have to wait. I mean, I know I just told a huge chunk of it, which I should not have even done that, but I mean, it's out there. I've already been charged. Now I think you charge me again. And I'm not bragging. For anybody that's listening to this right now, dude, if you're in some shit, get out of it now while you can, because there's only one way it's going to end. There's only one way it's going to end, dude. Well, 2 ways. Either you'll wind up broke or you wind up in jail. That's it. That's if you're lucky. I got lucky. I was smart enough to know that I wasn't strong enough to. I wasn't strong enough to be a fucking hardened drug dealer selling coke or heroin or anything like that. I stayed to the basic shit because I knew, even from the very beginning, if I get caught, I want to get caught on the lowest level. So at least I'm not giving up too much of my life to this shit, but I know I got to get out. Every flip, it was like, oh, this is going to be the last one. This is going to be the last one. And I didn't listen to my gut, dude, and I should have. That's one thing that I can pass on to you, dude. You should listen to your intuition. Because sometimes your instincts will tell you some shit's not right. And maybe you ignore it, greed, whatever the reason is. But I will break this shit down. I've been thinking about even possibly recording some stories and just holding off on them until I'm comfortable with releasing them. But I mean, I don't know how much of this shit I'm going to remember. Like, I really need to sit and think about this stuff, because I know, like I said earlier, these stories are not going to knock your socks off, but they're probably interesting to say the least. And, I know there's a chance that maybe when the kids get older, or whoever comes across this shit, if it's the kids when they're older, or fucking somebody 2,000 years from now somehow finds a file of this, like a time capsule or some shit. I think it's important to share some of these things. Like, even there were moments where I thought, there were moments dead serious where I thought it was gonna be over. I never thought I was gonna make it here, dude. And I don't know, now that I'm here, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to whatever the next level is. But god damn it, I gotta try. I gotta try, dude. I mean, I should have died so many fucking times. It's ridiculous. Bro, I'm telling you though, dude. During the weed stories and the crack house stories, I should have a decent. I mean, I wish I can pull some people from the crack house story days, to corroborate some of the shit that I'm saying. I don't think it wouldn't be the smartest move for me to try to get in touch with some of these people. I mean, for one, I haven't talked to them really in years. Two, everybody's moved on. And three, I don't really think it would be the wisest thing in the world to go digging up old fucking fuck. Sorry, I got wrapped up. I gotta post my fucking tattoo out here, dude. I don't know, man. It's wild. I don't remember what the fuck I was saying. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah. I don't wanna go pulling up old shit. Basically, it's not worth it. Those people are not in my life for a reason. We went our separate ways and leave it at that. Even though there is things that I should talk about, like the person that I'm talking about right now. You know what? I will bring this up. I know, and we're far away from the original topic, but I'm not the show guy, dude. I just watched 4 seasons of a show and I can barely pull out the most important details of the fucking show. I did do a podcast on this in the future, not the entire thing, but I made some comments on the show along the way, so I did that. So at least in the moment, we'll have some shit to pull together. But this person I'm talking about, her stepfather actually was this dude. Taught me, attempted to help me get my fucking license. There when I graduated night school, bro. None of my own family was even there. Nobody gave a fuck. And this dude was there. Solid. He's a solid guy, man. Honestly. Can't say that we always saw eye to eye, but the dude was a solid fucking guy just for that alone. And I would love to be able to bring it up, but I mean, why judge up old shit? And plus, nothing good's gonna come out of that. Believe me when I tell you. I will eventually, though, tell these stories somehow, some way. I just gotta figure out. I don't know, maybe I'll see if I can get in touch with somebody, because I want to try to get as much details as I can, because there's only certain things I remember. But even still, it'd be fun to do. But look, I mean, I guess that's it. Before I go, though, like we always do about that time, I always show you where we're at, where we're going, Why should today be any different? Check that out. 1336. Not too shabby, huh? I mean, all the people, I've lost more people than I've gained, but that's the nature of the business. Nothing you could do. At least my UK presence has gone up a little bit. That's always nice to see. But as you can see, Wilfred is right here. So I got this. I have up to episode 83, which is going to come out on the 8th. But then I also currently I have episode 84 currently being worked on. 85 is going to be probably the Child's Play watch along. If it's not, then 85 will probably be Wilfred's episode. And then after that, I got to get back into recording again. I might. Damn. I don't know, but tomorrow's a rough day for me. Fridays are rough because most of the people that I listen to for content have already put out their content for the week. So nothing new, I'm pretty sure, is going to be coming out tomorrow. So I maybe will start editing again tomorrow. If not, then I'll probably push it off until Tuesday, maybe, because Monday is an appointment I have. And then on Thursday, I'm supposed to talk to this dude, have him on a guest for the podcast. I don't know if that's going to happen or not yet. I mean, I know, look, I have all these episodes are here. I don't have to worry about it, but still, like to always work on some shit. And I know I could easily take these live episodes and I could post them up as podcast episodes and buy myself even more time, but that's not fair to the people that do stop by and catch these when they are live. So that's no fun. But I do try to make sure that I put all these live streams in a live stream playlist. So you can find all of them that I've done up to this point, I'm pretty sure, on the playlist. Unless, of course, they've been copyright blocked or unlisted. Other than that, they should all be there. So, I mean, I guess for now, that's it. I wanted to come on here and talk about the show. I know we've been a whole bunch of different places. What is next week? I don't even know what next week's episode is. Or this episode coming up, I should say. Or no, yeah, next week. Because I know this week is the CD collection. Next week is the Purge. That's what it is. So, dude, we got some shit. We got some stuff happening. There's a very good chance we could be wind up getting canceled by the 11th of July. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But, I mean, for now, I guess I'm going to end this, walk around a little bit, try to stretch my legs, take some CBD, and get ready to relax and go to sleep soon. Maybe I'll even edit a little bit tonight. I don't know. I know Jen's watching something in the other room, so I probably should leave her alone, let her do that. Maybe I'll stay in here and I'll work on some shit. That is part of the reason why I have so much stuff that comes out anyway, because when Jen's working on a project or she's watching something on the TV in the living room, I'll slip in here and I'll work on something. So that's always a plus. But look, as always, appreciating everybody who stopped by. On Monday, next Monday, I have an appointment with the doctor. So I'm sure I'm going to get piss tested. You know, the last time I got drug tested was in February. So I'm overdue for one anyway. 'Cause they usually do it like every 3 months, something like that. But especially now, because of the CBD shit that I was taking before, they know I've been trying different shit. So if this pops, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do. But I'm sure I'll come back with a story. Maybe you'll hear from me before then. I don't know how much live stream time that I've used, but we'll figure it out. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Check out the podcast at Laughing Birds on Twitter, at Laughing Birds Pod on Instagram. Artwork, clips of the show, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday. Check your podcast listings, rate, and do all that bullshit. And tell a fucking friend if you have any. I'll see you guys later.